Welcome to QU Talk. My name is Marvelous Achaf. And today on QU Talk, we have a special interview segment with the latest winner of the Miss Trans Global Nigeria, Electra. Electra is in the building. Nice to have you, Electra.
Thank you very much, Malvin.
Yeah, congratulations on your winning once again.
Thank you very much.
Everyone rooted for you, and we're happy that you are here. And we'd like to have an interview session with you, get like a one-on-one discussion on basically everything about trans, your winning, and just basically everything about the trans community. Because whether we like it or not, this community is one of the least talked about community, and they're one of the most hated and the most criminalized community, or what's the word? Discriminated community. So first of all, let's just start with your the Miss Trans Global. What's it about, and how did you? Just give us the journey. How did it happen? What is it about? Just let our viewers know, for those that haven't heard of it before, or those that are seeing it for the first time.
Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Adanna Electra Dwells. I'm the current Miss Trans Global Nigeria. And Miss Trans Global entirely is a pageant that is to promote visibility of trans women in the community and in the world in general at large. Because like you said, we are less heard of, we are less seen, we are not visible. It's almost like we are being extinct. So the pageant is more like to promote visibility in the trans community. And that's why Trans Pride Africa came up with the pageant for us. And as the winner of the national section of the contest, it's not just the end, because I'll be representing Nigeria in the Miss Trans Global International later this year.
Wow, that's very nice. So this winning now, what do you plan? The fact that you've won now, what would you say that was the part that stood out for you and made you win this Miss Trans Global? And what do you intend to do with that win?
Well, the part that stood out for me was, firstly, the fact that I believed in myself. I saw it that there are some people that have put effort into this to make mine and other people's dreams come true. And someone is needed to be vocal, and someone is needed to come out for the community. So that part was what I saw. That was what drove me down that aisle of wanting to be the next queen. I wanted to be the voice of the voiceless, the voice of trans people, mostly the young ones, because personally, as a trans woman, growing up in Nigeria wasn't easy. I found it very difficult finding my steps. So I guess this is like a way to, push visibility forward, make people realize who they are and where they belong to, and function better as well.
Okay, now that's very interesting. I love that. So moving on into the main trans issue now. Transgenders are always misquoted. What's the difference between a transgender, a cross-dresser, and a drag?
Okay, you said the difference between a transgender.
What's the difference between a transgender, a cross-dresser,
and a drag. Okay.
Because people always mistake them for each other, and they say, "Oh, okay." Like I know I made the mistake recently when I said, "Oh, yes. Are you coming with your attire?" And you said, "What? That's very wrong." So I don't know. I always mistake them. What's the difference?
Yeah, it was actually wrong.
Yeah, please. Can you just fill us in?
A drag queen or a cross-dresser, but because both terms are same. So a drag queen or a cross-dresser is someone. A cross-dresser is someone that dresses like opposite of the particular gender that the person identifies as. That's why most times you get to see most drag queens, they want to project that excess femininity. They want people to know that, oh yes, I'm trying to act like a woman. I'm trying to make ridicule. Sometimes, in some cases, I'm trying to make ridicule of such people and all that. And then drag queens also fall into the category of cross-dressers because they are actually queen. Drag is like kind of a man trying to act and pretend to be a woman. You understand? While a transgender person is someone that's identifies differently from the initial sex or gender at birth. For example, we have trans women that's they were assigned male at birth, but they tend to have kind of, they want to be known and seen as women and, you know, things like that. So then we have trans men as well, people that identify as, that want to be seen as men rather. They were born female, but then they don't fit into that body. So they want to be seen and addressed as men. So that's the difference. A drag queen or a crossdresser is someone who pretends to be the opposite sex, while a trans person is someone who already identifies and sees him or herself as the opposite of the gender at birth.
Okay, I would like to talk about when you said identifying the transition process now. I would like to ask a bit of the question that everybody wants me to ask or to want me to ask on this statement. The transition process, what is it like, or what would you say should consider before making up his mind to transition?
Well, firstly, you don't make up your mind on such things. Yes, it comes naturally on its own. For example, we know the kind of country we are in, where people tend to criminalize, dehumanize what they don't understand. For example, Electra didn't just wake up and say, oh, I don't want to be a man again, I want to be a woman. No. It comes from within. You cannot predict what your heart wants. It's about your feelings, about your emotions, about what comes up from within, what comes from within. You understand? That's also a very big difference between drag and trans people, because the drag queens, of course, they suddenly say, oh, I want to do what this girl does, or I just want to be like this girl. But being transgender, it comes from the heart. You understand? And again, you don't have to transition or go through any process to be, or rather to your gender identity. You don't have to go through any process. It comes from how you feel. Then if you feel comfortable presenting the way you feel within you, good. There are also some masculine presenting trans women, yes. There are some very masculine, excess, whatever people that are trans women. You don't know what's going on in their hearts, but then they don't feel comfortable because of where they are to come out, to transition, like people always say, this person is transitioning. There's nothing like, personally, I don't believe in the transition thing. It's about, I believe
people would say, the reason why I said transition, people would say transition because they will say if there is no transition, they want differentiate you from a drag or a cross-dresser who dresses like a female and then switches to dressing like a male. Because they said a lot of people claim that they are trans,
yes,
like they are trans, but they switch to male and female attire. Like they see them on Monday and they are dressed like a man, and on Tuesday just like a woman, and they feel like this is like, because they believe that a trans person, even though you've not transitioned, you should stick to a particular identity. Like you should be in your female attire or track. You identify as a female now, so you always dress like a female, wear female clothes, wear female makeup, and people should identify you as a female now, not like on Monday we see you as a male. On Tuesday, we see you as a female.
Okay.
And one second thing again. Adding to that, there's a Charlie Evans. I don't know if you know of her. She's a trans activist in
Okay, I
UK.
know of her.
She said, yeah. She also said that a lot of people that regret is real in this transgender community. Regret is very, very real. There are a lot of people are detransing. There's what they call it. I can't remember what it is. Is it detransing? I mean, like the detransification. I can't remember it again. But it's whereby you change when you transition, then you go back to your view, or you go back to your assigned bed.
Your assigned sex and bed. Okay.
Your assigned sex. Yes, that's the word. And because they feel like it's not working for them anymore. Because a lot of people go into this. A lot of people become trans for the wrong reason. I felt somebody that said I want to become trans because I don't want to pay my bills anymore. I want to become woman. Me man, they pay my bills. A lot of people have a lot of urges. And I know somebody that said that because I grew up with only girls, with only sisters, so they were always dressing me in their clothes. And because of that, I feel like I need to be a girl too. I need to belong to them. All reasons. And then they go for transition. And then 8 years along the line, and 10 years along the line, some even a year, they decide that this is not what I want to become, because you switch, whether we like it or not, you just switched identity, or you just started a new life. Let me use that word, a new life. And there's a lot of burden on you, a lot of pressure, a lot of that's the word. Let me just use the word pressure.
And then when okay, if I get you correctly, when the burden is too much, you tend to want to go back to your old self.
Exactly. And some it's not even about the body. Some is just about discovering that this is not what they want to become.
Now that is where misinterpretation comes in, and that is where also people need to be counseled on most things. You don't just wake up one day and say you saw Electra being Miss Trans Global Nigeria. She's putting on a tiara and she's with a national sash, and suddenly you want to be like her. And you just start doing it on your own. Yes. Firstly, you have to, there is this thing I believe in. You assess yourself first. You know what you want for yourself, because I believe everybody has a life to live, and you're living it not for this person. You understand? You telling me you want to be a trans person because you saw me being a trans person. Can you face what I faced? Can you stand the rejection I've stood? And this how would I put it? The dehumanization that I have faced. Can you? No, you may not be able to. So you wouldn't just say because this person, I want to be like this girl because she is this, because she is that. No. It doesn't work that way. And again, to that effect, people need to, first of all, access themselves, then look for someone to talk to. There must be that one particular person. It mustn't be an LGBT person. It could be a friend, it could be a family, someone you can confide in. Then you share one or two things with the person. You don't just stand up one day, carry wig, carry makeup, or start saying you are
trans.
drag queen. Cool. And also, there are people that we call gender non-binary people. And I would want to also use this medium to clear some misinterpretations about such people, because I respect them a lot. Although I'm not a gender non-binary person, I'm a trans woman, but then these people, they tend to be able to be comfortable in both forms. Like, okay, this is how I feel today. This is the layman explanation of gender non-binary. They feel like this today, or they feel like this tomorrow, things like that. Some would say they are gender confused. They are not gender confused, please. They are not. This is about how this person wants to be seen today. This is how this person wants to be seen tomorrow. And to that effect, most gender non-binary persons, they are like, okay, my pronouns are they, them, things like that. They don't want to be attached to that one gender or one or the other, you understand? And again, people saying something about transitioning and all that. Your sex organs, they don't determine your gender. Yes. Your sex organs, what you have, your genitalia doesn't determine if you're male or female. It is how you feel from within. It is how you want to be seen, how you want to present yourself, and how you want to be addressed. You understand? That is what counts.
Mm.
When I made my first speech on the contest, I said something about being transgender being from the heart, not the part. You understand? So to that effect, you are seeing this person today that, oh, this is a man. Uncle, how far? How you now? Why are you now dressing all like a woman? You are not in that person's heart or in that person's mind or inside that person's body. You don't know what that person is going through. You understand? So, and I guess everybody is supposed to have a right to use our gender identity. So that's it.
Mm.
Yes.
That's true. So speaking of, you spoke a lot of things, but I would like to ask you, said your sex organs don't determine your gender. So
yes,
I would like to come to you now. Like when and how did you know that you are a female? And how did your body react to the process? Like when and how do you know that you are a female? And then let's just start with the first question. When and how do you know that you're a female? And then the second question is that the process of you, like, did you take any pills, like take hormone pills? Did you go through any process in becoming much more feminine? Some people say they take pills, hormone pills, they do this, they do that. Did you go through any process? And how did your body react to it, if you did?
Okay. Firstly, are there some hormonal pills you want to give me?
No, they are not.
Then I don't think that's a necessary question. Can we skip it?
Okay, no problem.
It's personal.
Okay, it's personal, no problem.
Yes.
So first question, let's go with the first question. When and how did you
I realized when and how I realized I'm a female? Yes.
You're a female.
I got to attend a boys' secondary school.
Okay.
And imagine putting a little girl with about 200 boys in a hostel or a house and all that. Definitely she'll be odd. She'll feel odd. So I felt very, very odd. My upbringing was that of, it was a little bit mixed with confusion and all that. But in the end, I got to maneuver it, and here I am, a woman.
So I would like to speak on discrimination too. I cannot end without not talking about discrimination you face. What are the biggest discrimination you face? Because first of all, I'd like to start with break it into two parts. First, the one that you face from, or a lot of parts. First of all, from family and friends. Secondly, from the society, because you are the Miss Trans Global of one of the most homophobic countries in the world. That is a very, very, even I applaud you. I have to applaud you again for that. One of the most homophobic countries in the world. And thirdly, from community members themselves, LGBTQI community members, who are very, very transphobic. Very, very. So break it down to three places first. How do you deal with them? What are the biggest form of hatred or form of discrimination you've seen from them, and how you overcame it? From family and friends, from the society or Nigeria at large, and from community members, LGBTQI community members here in Nigeria?
Well, firstly, the honest truth is this. There is no one that doesn't have enemies. no matter how good you are, people must still hate you. You must still have people that would find a fault in you. I don't know if you understand that. And to that effect, as a trans person, firstly from the family, because charity begins at home. I'm sharing my experience here, but I wouldn't want to be copied by anyone, because this is what works for me might not work for you. I come from a very, very, very religious family. But then watching me, some understood, some didn't understand, and all that, which was fine. I was managed till I became an adult and I got a say of my own and all that. And I came out to those that I felt it was necessary to come out to. And those that it wasn't necessary to come out to. I'm independent. I'm useful. I'm productive. I'm educated as well. My advice to any other person that wants to think about going through the process of coming out and all that is, before attempting such, especially in such a place we are in, make sure you have something to offer. Your gender identity shouldn't be the first thing you just flaunt out. I am not saying you should be in the closet. I'm not advising to be in the closet. I'm not also advising to come out. I'm only saying that your gender identity, if you stand at risk of being thrown out, being discriminated, being shut out and all that, it shouldn't be the first thing you should come out with. Get a life, settle down, settle yourself, and make sure that you are needed before you start thinking of coming out and saying fuck everybody and all that. Oh, sorry, I used the F word. Then then back to pair and the country at large. I don't know how this would sound, but there are no laws against gender identity in Nigeria. I don't know if you know about that.
Yes.
Okay. So for those that understand it, good. For those that don't understand it, just stay on your own and make sure you don't cross my path. That's how, because personally, to an extent, I'm very radical, yes, for those that know me. So if you understand the laws of the country and yet you don't like me, as long as we don't have any business in common, you don't put food on my table and all that, there's a road for you. Just, take your transphobia elsewhere. If we have anything in common, it's just about trying to condone each other. You trying to condone the fact that, oh, this was a guy and now he looks this pretty and all that. So, you should just try as much as possible to condone that fact and try as much as possible not to get on at me or something. Because, of course, it is about me, it's about my gender identity and all that, not about you. It's not your business. You understand? Then for the LGBT community, what I feel I wouldn't say they, because I am also a member of the community. So what I would say we need is more of enlightenment. You understand? If people could be enlightened more on gender identity and gender expressions and all that, if people could be enlightened on many things that they need to know. You understand? Because most times, yes, I've been called a drag queen by many LGBT people. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm there. I can hear you.
Okay. I said I've been called a drag queen by many LGBT people. Do you agree to that?
No, you're not a drag queen. You're a trans.
Okay, how
You're a
long ago
trans
did
woman.
you? How long ago
No,
did
for a
you?
long time. For a long time.
How come you
I used to
asked
call you.
me if I would be doing drag for the discussion?
No, for the one thing about the first time I met you. Let's go personal now.
Don't worry, let's not go into let's not bring history back.
Okay, yeah. So that's the reason why I asked. So I think now
yes.
you're now I'm
The
impressed.
LGBT community has to know the difference between drag queen, transgender, because it's quite embarrassing for someone who is in a family not to know that, oh, this is my daddy, this is my mommy, this is my uncle, this is my auntie, this is my sister, this is my brother, and all that. It's somehow, when you see your uncle, you call your uncle your mommy, or your mommy your sister, or you should know who is who in the family. You understand? I'm trying to break it down very, very well, because I am any LGBT person that sees a trans person and gets to be transphobic.
That's true.
It's not
true.
nice.
I agree.
Let me just and again, I feel some LGBT persons also have issues with trans women because of some of the dramas that some people, we don't know if they are trans people or cross-dressers, we don't know them anyway. But the misconceptions those people are making and the kind of news they are creating about us. So I think that's what other LGBT people, community members are looking at while trying to categorize us. So when they get to see such news, they'll be like, oh, nah, them, such things. And we tend to judge people based on what others do without hearing from others as well. We get to judge me because this person's dad was a criminal, definitely the son should be a criminal. Because this person is married, definitely all of you should be married and all that. So
yeah, that's true. I think I think I like the word you addressed, that a lot of people, the reason why they have this misconception, why they have this double mind, or what would I say, this a little bit of these trans people, is because even some trans NGOs, when I look at their EDs from their program managers and the executive director, which is the ED, program manager, the M&E officer, I wonder that these people, do they have their acts together? Even you see some of them that even have like top staffs that are even like transphobic.
Hello. Don't you think this is out of it?
No, it's not out of it. I was just talking about the misconception.
Yeah, the misconceptions, we shouldn't include NGOs, don't you think?
Oh, we should not? Because they play a part in
because in as much as some play parts in it, it's not all. And when
that's why I use the word some.
You get to start putting it as though some NGOs play part, or rather, when you generalize it, people get to think that, oh, this is how they are and all that. No.
They are good NGOs. I wouldn't mention
and one thing is this. One thing is this. An NGO doesn't make someone bad. Neither does it make someone good. Yes. A good person is a good person. A bad person is a bad person.
But we're saying that NGOs should, some of them, they are the ones that are doing very, very good jobs. Especially over in Abuja and in Lagos and in Port Harcourt. I've heard them do really good jobs. I wouldn't mention their names because they are not running adverts for me or running adverts for my show. So I will not mention their names. And they are also bad ones too. Who should watch this and change the way their staff and try to check their staffs if their staffs really project good light towards the NGO. Final thing, taking this home, what do you see the future of trans men and trans women in the country, where do you see trans men and trans women or the trans community generally in the next 10 years in Nigeria? And what do you have for any child? What do you have to say to any child or any teenager or maybe even any youth that might be watching you now and the person is struggling? The person actually is the assigned birth, the assigned birth sex is actually male. The person wants to be female too, but the person's assigned birth sex is female. The person wants to be male. So how do you tell them? What advice do you give to them?
Your first question was where I see trans people in the next future, in the nearest future.
Yeah.
Well, a very, very big thanks to Trans Pride Africa. I'm visible now. There is an office. There is someone most people can look up to. That there are people that can be looked up to. When I mean people, I mean reasonable people that can be looked up to. Let's take, for example, the National Director of Miss Trans Global Nigeria, Miss Mandy. Let's take, for example, people like Miss Sahara. Let's take, for example, people like Miss Emanuela David Ete, that's the founding president of Dynamic Initiative for Human Rights and Healthcare. I'm telling you about trans people that are doing well. Let's take, for example, I don't know if you know of this lady, LaShawn Samuel.
I've heard of the name before.
She's another very weight-pulling trans person. Let's take, for example, people like Queen Akapel Mbanosi. Let's take, there are many trans people that are doing well. There are intersex people also that are doing well. Let's take, for example, James Johnson, that's the former Nigerian footballer. There are many people that are doing well. All we need is help, visibility. You understand?
Yeah.
We are not useless people. We are not brainless people. People think that, oh, these are guys that want to run around on makeup and wigs and all that. No, it's not easy, especially in a country like this, where we get to be discriminated. Yet we can't help it. We are still coming out like that because we can't help it. So you see, yes, it is who we are, even though the price we pay for it is being disinvited from the rest of Nigeria. But even at that, we still try to struggle to show people that, oh, we are human, we are nice, we could be we are normal like you are and all that. You understand? But then with the recent developments, with the kind of visibilities that are coming out now, with advocacies, healthcare and all that, and with the enlightenment of more Nigerians, because I feel people need to be enlightened more on gender identity and gender expression. So with the recent development, I think there's progress, although it's slow. It's more like baby steps, but then there is progress. There's progress, yes. And then to anybody that still feels doubts about their gender identity, I wouldn't say go and start looking for how to feminize yourself or make yourself look more effeminate or more masculine and all that. Firstly, sit down with yourself, by yourself, for yourself. Think about what you want for yourself. Talk to your inner self. Look for people that have brain. Talk to them. This is how I feel. This is. Don't think of, or rather, don't imagine yourself being like one of the very beautiful trans people and all that. Think about what you want for yourself. You have a life to live. Do you think you can function better if you should come out as a lecturer? Can you face the rejection? There are many things to talk about. And then Get to involve yourself in productive talks with productive people. Attend trainings, attend seminars, attend conferences. There your doubts will be cleared on where you should belong to. But nevertheless, be you male, be you female, just be a good person. Try as much as possible to project that kindness to people.
I love that. I love that. I love that.
The LGBT people, LGBTIQ community, the heterosexual people, everybody, even the animals, as ones that you cannot eat anyway. Just be nice, be a good person, be productive, look for a way to better yourself and better people around you. You understand? With that, I guess you would have peace of mind to be able to sit down and think of what you want with your life. It's not all about makeup and wig, and because that's all they think of when they hear transgender. They start looking for wig and makeup and earring and dress and all. It's not about dresses. Even when I was in my past, even dressing up as a guy and all that, you get to call me a guy, I'll be like, please, no. So it's not about your dress and your wig and your makeup and all that. It doesn't make you more or less of a woman. Yes, it's from how you feel, it's from your heart. So make sure you also have peace in your heart. Be nice to people. Don't have a bad record. With that, you'll be nice, you'll be happy. You live a happy life, and you know what you want for yourself and who you're supposed to be as well. So that's my advice for anybody that is watching.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
This has been an insightful discussion. I think one thing I will take home from this, what you finally said, whether you are trans or top or bottom or gay or lesbian or bisexual or pansexual or straight or anything, an ally, you are first a human being. You are first a human being. Have your goals. Show love as an human being first, not any other thing first. Being a human comes first before any other thing. Showing love, showing kindness, and discovering who you are and having a purpose in life. No one says that you cannot be trans and be the next president of Nigeria. No one says you cannot be trans and not be a governor. So you can be trans and be whatever you want to. Thank you so much, Electra, Miss Electra, right?
Yes, I am Miss Adana Electra Jones.
Miss Adana. Miss Adana Electra Jones.
Joels, that's my surname.
Oh, Joels. Oh, Joels.
Yes.
Thank you. So it's been nice having you on the show, Miss Adana Electra Joels. Thank you so much. Correct. And I'm sure I learned a lot and a lot of people learned a lot. So that's our offering for today.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah, we'll be bringing you from time to time too. I will keep tabs with you also. We'll be rooting for you. So just keep us posted so we can we'll be rooting for you. So that you can bring home, you can bring the crown home rather. You can bring the crown home for us.
No problem.
Thank you so much. And that's our offering for this. That's our opening for this episode. Join us in the next episode for more inciting and interesting topics and interesting edition. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll see you all later next week. Peace out. Thanks for watching.